Okay, hey, welcome back. We're in the last episode of giving. Workfare, a hand up, is so much better than welfare, a hand out. We want our giving to be in the hand up method. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should they eat. If they don't work, then why are you feeding them? You sort out the truly poor from the professional beggars. And by the way, when a man works or a woman works, it gives them some dignity. It lowers them to just take things from other people. It's not right. We have a card business. Maybe we'll sponsor it again. We have been a sponsor, but we used to just help kids in Vietnam. And now the kids make greeting cards, and we buy the cards from them, we resell them, and we perpetuate it. But it gave the kids an opportunity to work in a clean environment, in the safety of their dormitory, and it gave them some dignity too. That's their first skill. I could have just given them money. I like hand up better than hand out. I think God does too. Here's a biblical example in Acts chapter 11, verse 29 and 30. Relief is sent. Jerusalem, the home church, they're in trouble. They've had bad weather. And it's to the brethren. So Paul collects money from outside. This doesn't happen today. From those that they had a mission to. They say, hey, our home church is in trouble. I'm going to take an offering. I'm going to take it back to Jerusalem. It was to the brothers. It wasn't to everyone that lived in it. It was to the church. And it was to the elders. The money went from elder to the recognized church leader. The money did not go through any agencies other than the local church. The UN wasn't involved. There was no UNICEF little boxes we used to do as a kid, put in your pennies and so on. Help some poor kid somewhere. You never know. Who knows? It was probably supporting terrorists. We don't know. In Acts chapter 11, we determined to send relief unto the brethren and sent it to the elders. By giving through the church, you strengthen the church. And that's what we want to do. That's a good thing. We don't want to weaken God's principles. Here I have a few slides on the missionary principles, and then we're closing. Missionary principle number 1, help those who are already working. That's what we do. We help a lot of people. But I don't help people that just sit there and wait for me to come by and here's some money, get started. They can just keep sitting there. I find people that are already working, and we come by and help them. We accelerate what they're doing already. And we never own the project. I'll own up to 50%. I'll own 49% at the most of a project. Usually it's a lot less. Usually someone builds a church or something, we might add the furnishings or they needed some equipment, a sound system, whatever. We can do that. We can do our little part. But if they're not moving, they're not going to be moving with me either, because I'm not going to get them moving. They have to be working already. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. That is, we're not into that. If they just want to be poor, then let them. They can be poor. Missionary principle number 2, give through the church and give to the church. The local leaders, I'm speaking as the Vietnamese, but it's true anywhere. The local leaders know who really needs the money. And who really is the con man? Who plays the game? Who's in Vietnam? They They make a story, they fib, they lie. To the elders by the hands of Barnabas and Saul, Acts chapter 11, verse 30. We give the money, if it's money, and it's through the hands of some trusted men of God. That's the way we strengthen each other. That's God's plan. We don't send missionary families with cargo containers where they have to hire an armed guard and they arrive somewhere and automatically they just arrive and they're suddenly the richest people in town and they have to hire security for this. That's not the way we give. And that we don't give through any boards. There's no boards. We had one board wanted to help us, and they wanted to siphon 8% of the income that came in for our projects. They wanted to take off 8%. For what? For what? Well, they provide pictures and so on. Well, we have plenty of pictures. We don't give anything to the board. You give a missionary $10, that $10 should go exactly, all of it should go. Unless you signify, you designate, missionary, I want you to take. We usually say, if I give money to a project, the pastor that's behind the project, I give him a cut. I give him like 10%. He should. He's worked for it. Give him a little bit. Missionary principle number 3, give to a specific project one time. Don't make promises of long-term support. For it pleased them of Macedonia and Achaia to make a certain contribution for the poor saints which were at Jerusalem. Romans chapter 15. They made a certain contribution. This is the churches that were started that were outside, and they wanted to send some money back. It was a one-time offering. I would rather have that than make you promises and put you in debt. Just give me a big load. That's great. Thanks. See ya. Maybe next time in town you'll have me back in again. I could go on and on. We have a lot of missionary experience. But I really want you to enjoy giving. It is more blessed to give than receive. When you have the right motive and you have the right method, it's a wonderful thing. I don't want you to get hurt in your giving. Got it? Oh, our sponsor.
Have longed for sweet peace and for faith to increase, and have earnestly, fervently prayed. But you cannot have rest or be perfectly blessed until all on the altar is laid.
All right. Hey, God bless you. Thank you for giving. You can't outgive the Lord God. You know it. God bless you. See you.